Hello guys, RubberBat1 here, coming up to you with a Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion video. And today's discussion video is going to be about the extra deck size limit. Now, what are we going to be talking about with the extra deck size limit today? Well, as you guys all know, the extra deck size limit is limited to 15. And with the extra deck size limit being limited to 15, it's brought up many problems with players in the game. Now, let's first go into a little bit of history. Back in the day when Yu-Gi-Oh! Was first coming out, you had no limit to your main deck or extra deck. Well, it was called Fusion Deck back then, but nonetheless, you had zero limited limits to them, either of those. And knowing this, it really does make me think, why is the extra deck limited to only 15 cards? Now, obviously, there are a lot of reasons why Konami would have decided to limit their extra deck space to 15. One of the main issues being people could abuse the amount of cards in your extra deck, such as the times when we had synchro decks running around. They could have abused it by putting like 50 different synchro cards in their extra deck, so they had all the options in the world. Now that is a big abusing. During the Xyz era, you could play, you could have played like, I don't know, you could play like, I think there was 100 different Xyzs that you could have played. Yeah, there was a lot of Xyzs you could have played. And during the, and then even during the Fusion era, sure, you didn't really care about your extra deck fusions in the Fusion era, but you still had the option of Metamorphosis, which would allow you to go into multiple different extra deck cards, such as Thousand Eyes Restrict, the Warrior of Light. I can't remember. I believe it's called the Warrior card that stops summoning. It is the Light monster. You had options like those as well. Now, thinking about this, think about where we used to come from and now where we are. Why is Konami not brought the extra deck size to from 15 to maybe 20? Now, this is me trying to state my point for why the extra deck size should be going from 15 to 20, just to, balance things out, because I feel like where we are now in the game, the extra deck size is too small. Now, in the Fusion era, in the Synchro era, and in the Xyz era, I could completely understand the extra deck being 15, because if it wasn't, it would be abused. They would use tons of Synchro monsters, they would use tons of Xyz monsters, and they would probably use tons of Fusion monsters if they had the option. Now, in those eras, I could completely understand the extra deck being that size. Even in the Pendulum era, fair enough, the extra deck size should have been limited. But now we have reached a point in the game where we have 4 different extra deck types. We have Link, which is the new one. We have Fusion, we have Xyz, and we have Pendulum. Well, not Pendulum, sorry. We have Synchro. Now, with these different extra deck type of cards, it comes very hard into the option of ratioing them. So when you look at it, you can either have you can only run 3 to balance it out, and you could run 3 Link, 3 Synchro, 3 Fusion. That's how much you could run of each type to have an even number of each. You cannot run 4 of each, which would make it an even number of there. But that's not the point I'm trying to make. Where we are in the game, Links are the dominant archetype, or the dominant summoning mechanic. Of course, tribute summoning and normal summonings are still dominant, but I'm talking about in special summons. Link Summon is one of the most dominant summoning methods because it gives you access to those extra monster zones. It gives you most of the time, if you're making a Link's monster, it's going to give you 2 extra monster zones to be able to either Fusion summon into, Xyz summon into, Synchro summon into, or Pendulum summon into. And with this new archetype, I feel like the extra deck should be boosted to 20. Now, obviously, when Master Rule 4 came out, we all thought, oh, with this new extra deck type, Konami are obviously going to boost it to 20. But they didn't. Why didn't they? Who knows? It's Konami. they make the rules. We can't really go against them. Unless you're just having casual fun, then you can go against them whenever you want. Yeah? You casual players out there with your 50, your 60 card extra decks, like having some fun, jokes and all that. But yeah, in the game where we are now, Konami has made the extra deck still 15, even though they've introduced a new Link, the new Link archetype, well, the new Link summoning mechanic. And with Konami adding this into the game, it really does make you think, why would you keep the extra deck of 15 when you've added a new summoning mechanic to the game? And my opinion on this is that they should have actually boosted it to 20, purely because it would make it, you would be able to, well, when it was at 15, when we got XCs introduced, you could have 5 XCs, 5 Synchros, and 5 Fusions. You could have 5 of each to have a perfect ratio. 5, 5, 5. Now, with links, you can't have a perfect ratio of up to 15. You would have to have 5, and adding the links, you would to even add it equal, you would have to have 3, 3, 3, and then have 3 extra spots empty. And that's something I don't like. I don't personally like that you can't have a perfect ratio of each extra deck monster. So, what I feel like Konami should do is boost the extra deck to 20, so that we can have 5 links, 5 synchro, 5 fusion, 5 XCs. Just 5 of each, because I feel like if they do that, it will be balanced again, and it will actually be able to have a perfect extra deck. Now, even if they did boost the extra deck to a size of 20, it wouldn't give a lot of power to most decks. Sure, it would add a few extra XCs cards to maybe a rank 4 deck, or a pendulum deck, or any other deck that likes to run XCs. It would add 5 more synchros to a synchro-based deck, but that wouldn't really do much either, purely because of the link extra errors here, and we would have the only 1 extra monster zone, which would obviously slow them down still, not being able to make multiple Quasar, which the link error, which actually that deck likes to do a lot of the synchro-based decks. And you've got to remember, even if you gave 20 links to an extra deck, it still wouldn't be overpowered. Purely because you would have to have multiple resources to actually gain access to these link monsters. You would have to have all the monsters in your hand to be able to special summon to the field. You would have to be able to continuously summon monsters from the deck, graveyard, or extra deck, and that still gives you other options. Sure, maybe Stargrails would find a way to abuse it. But again, you've got to look at it in the big picture. Stargrails could abuse it, yes, but then they wouldn't abuse it as much as they could, purely because they won't have all the resources. Now, sure, the deck can still do the extra link combo, making the U, but even with them being able to still make the U, it doesn't give them an overbearing advantage. It gives them options, yes, it does give them options to play, but it doesn't give them anything else. It gives them, we were still running like what? 1 Seraphonite, 2 Aram at most, 3 of the dog, 3 Ib, maybe 2 Proxy Dragon, and 3 Firewall. What's that? Seraphonite, Firewalls, Ibs, Arams, Proxies, 2 Spiders maybe, and maybe some other generic rank 4 stuff. Oh, and Ingrisu as well. So they still have 3 spots left after that, and even still, it's not overpowering to the deck. Stargrails wouldn't be able to abuse it because they don't have enough resources to be able to abuse it. They can do extra link, they can, but they don't have enough resources to actually make the combos absolutely ridiculous. So, what my point is, guys, extra deck should be boosted from 15 to 20 because it would give more options to the game, and with Link limiting the extra deck as it is, It really does need a new option in the game so you could play better, so you could do better in the game, and it just gives you more options to be able to actually play the game. So in my opinion, the extra deck should be boosted from 15 to 20, just to be able to give you more options, to give the decks that the decks that are mainly Xyz based or Synchro based or Fusion based, extra options as well, by giving them an extra 5 link monsters for them to actually be able to play. And I feel like it would just give the decks that play these a lot more options in general. So yeah guys, that's my opinion. Tell me what you think of it in the comment section below. Tell me if you think the extra deck should be boosted from 15 to 20 now that we have links. Give me your full opinions in the comment section below. I love to have discussions about stuff like this with you guys. I love just like talking to you guys in general, communicating with my audience. What, 15 to 50 people sometimes. I don't have a big audience, but you guys are you guys make me happy just being here, because it makes me want to make more videos. But yeah guys, that's the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi videos. Press the notification button to be notified of future Yu-Gi videos, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Robobot1 signing out. The extra deck should be 20.